Keep the ring. I'll forget you existed in about a week. I've already found someone better anyway. Those words hit me like a freight train to the chest. I stood there in our living room, engagement ring still in my hand, watching my fiancée of 2 years smirk at me like I was nothing more than an inconvenience she'd finally gotten rid of. I'm 27. Up until 3 minutes ago, I thought I was planning a wedding. Now I'm standing here wondering if the woman I loved ever actually existed. You're serious? I managed to get out, my voice steadier than I felt. Alessia rolled her eyes, examining her nails like this conversation bored her. Did I stutter? God, you're so dramatic. This is exactly why I can't do this anymore. You're suffocating. Suffocating. That was rich coming from someone who'd spent the last 6 months systematically destroying every ounce of my self-worth while I bent over backward trying to figure out what I'd done wrong. Give me the ring back, I said quietly. She laughed. Actually laughed. What? You think you can return it? Pretty sure they don't take back rings from failed relationships. Give it back. Something in my tone must have registered because her smirk faltered for half a second. She twisted the diamond off her finger and tossed it at me. I caught it before it hit the floor. There. Happy. Now get out. I have plans tonight. I looked at her, really looked at her, and realized I was seeing clearly for the first time in months. The woman I'd proposed to on a beach in Positano, the one who'd cried and said I was her soulmate, was gone. Or maybe she'd never been real in the first place. I walked out without another word. The drive to my best friend Marco's apartment was a blur. I don't even remember getting there, but suddenly I was pounding on his door at 9 o'clock on a Friday night. He took one look at my face and pulled me inside. What happened? She ended it. Said she'd forget me in a week and already found someone better. Marco's jaw clenched. He'd never particularly liked Alessia, though he'd been supportive when I proposed. That's cold, man. Even for her. There's more. I slumped onto his couch. She's been different for months. Distant. Critical of everything I do. I thought maybe it was wedding stress, you know? I kept trying to be more supportive, more understanding. Turns out I was just making it easier for her to walk all over me. You want a beer? I want the last 2 years back. Marco disappeared into the kitchen and returned with 2 bottles. We sat in silence for a while, and slowly, the pieces started falling into place. 3 months ago, Alessia had joined a new gym. Started going 5 times a week, sometimes twice a day. She said she wanted to look perfect for the wedding photos. I thought it was sweet. 2 months ago, she'd come home late 3 nights in a row. Girls' night with Bianca, she'd said. Her best friend. The one person who'd been by her side through everything. 1 month ago, she'd stopped initiating any physical contact. Barely kissed me goodbye in the mornings. Flinched when I tried to hold her hand during a movie. I'm an idiot, I said out loud. You're not an idiot. You trusted someone you loved. She cheated on me, Marco. That's what this is. The someone better she already found? She's been with him for months. My phone buzzed. A text from Alessia. Don't be pathetic. Move on. I have. I showed Marco. He grabbed the phone from my hand before I could respond. No, you're not doing this. You're not going to engage with her mind games. You're going to block her number, delete her from everything, and actually move on. For real this time. He was right, but it didn't make it hurt any less. The next few weeks were brutal. I threw myself into work, hitting the gym at ungodly hours to avoid thinking, spending weekends helping Marco renovate his kitchen because idle hands gave my brain too much time to wander. I didn't hear anything from Alessia. True to her word, she seemed to have forgotten I existed. But Bianca reached out. Hey, can we talk? Coffee tomorrow? I almost declined. Bianca was Alessia's best friend, had been since college. Whatever she wanted to say was probably going to hurt or make things worse. But something made me agree. We met at a small cafe downtown, the kind of place with mismatched furniture and indie music playing too loud. Bianca was already there when I arrived, nervously stirring a latte that had probably gone cold. Thanks for meeting me, she said as I sat down. I'll be honest, I'm not sure why I'm here. She winced. I deserve that. Look, I need to tell you something, and Alessia is going to kill me for it, but I can't keep quiet anymore. My stomach dropped. Is this about the guy? What guy? The one she left me for. The someone better she already found. Bianca's face went through about 5 different expressions in 2 seconds. Confusion, realization, anger, and finally something that looked like pity. There is no other guy, she said slowly. What? There's no one. Alessia isn't seeing anyone. She hasn't been cheating on you. I sat back, trying to process this. Then why did she say that? Because she wanted you to hate her. She wanted to make the breakup so final, So cruel that you'd never come back. That doesn't make any sense. Bianca took a deep breath. Alessia has been spiraling for about 6 months. She convinced herself that she wasn't good enough for you, that you'd eventually wake up and realize you could do better. So she decided to end it first, on her terms, in the most brutal way possible, so you wouldn't try to fight for her. I stared at her. That's insane. I know. I've been telling her that for months. She wouldn't listen. She pushed you away deliberately. The criticism, the distance, all of it was manufactured to make you give up on the relationship. Why are you telling me this? Because I've watched her completely fall apart since you left. She won't admit it, but she regrets everything. She's miserable. And I thought maybe if you knew the truth, you could. I don't know, maybe work things out. I looked at Bianca for a long moment. She seemed genuinely distressed, like she'd been carrying this burden for too long and finally couldn't take it anymore. No, I said finally. What? No, I'm not going back. I don't care what her reasons were. She looked me in the eye and said she'd forget me in a week. She threw away 2 years like they meant nothing. Whatever she's feeling now, that's on her. Bianca's eyes widened. But she loves you. She sabotaged us. Deliberately. She played mind games with my head for months. Do you know what that does to a person? I spent weeks thinking I was going crazy, that I was the problem, that I needed to try harder. I stood up. I'm done being someone's backup plan or emotional punching bag. Tell Alessia I hope she figures her stuff out, but she's not going to do it with me. I walked out before Bianca could respond. That night, I blocked Alessia on everything. Social media, phone, email. Every possible avenue of contact, gone. Marco was right. It was time to actually move on. Over the following weeks, something unexpected happened. I started feeling better. Not great, not healed, but better. The constant anxiety that had plagued me during those last months with Alessia faded. I laughed more, slept better, stopped second-guessing every word that came out of my mouth. And I started noticing Bianca. Not romantically, not at first, but she kept checking in. Casual texts asking how I was doing. An invitation to a gallery opening because she had an extra ticket. Coffee catch-ups that turned into lunch, then dinner. You're easier to talk to than I remembered, she said one night over Thai food. What do you mean? When you were with Alessia, you were always so careful. Like you were afraid of saying the wrong thing. You're different now. I was walking on eggshells and didn't even realize it. Bianca nodded, pushing pad thai around her plate. She does that to people. I love her, but she's got this way of making everyone around her feel like they're not quite measuring up. And you deal with that how? I push back. I've known her long enough to not take it personally, but it's exhausting sometimes. We talked for 3 hours that night. About everything and nothing. Our families, our jobs, the ridiculous reality show we'd both been secretly watching. It was easy, natural. There was no pressure, no games, no analyzing every word for hidden meaning. When I got home, I realized I'd smiled more that night than I had in the entire last year of my relationship with Alessia. 3 months after the breakup, Bianca kissed me. We were at her apartment, watching a movie that neither of us was paying attention to. She'd made some joke about the terrible acting. I'd laughed, and suddenly she was looking at me with this expression I couldn't quite read. Can I be honest about something? She asked. Sure. I've had a crush on you for about 2 years. Since Alessia first introduced us. I stared at her. You what? I know. Terrible timing, terrible friend, all of it. I never said anything because you were with her, and I genuinely thought you two were happy. When she started sabotaging things, I tried to talk her out of it because I thought she was ruining something good. But also, she looked away. Part of me was relieved, and I felt guilty about that for months. Bianca, let me finish. I'm not telling you this to put pressure on you or make things weird. I just needed you to know that this, us hanging out, it's not just pity or obligation for me. I like spending time with you. I like who you are. And if there's any chance that you might feel the same way, I'd like to explore that. But if not, we can pretend I never said anything and keep being friends. She was nervous. I could see it in the way she twisted her hands together, the slight tremor in her voice. This wasn't some calculated move. It was raw and honest and real. I kissed her. It wasn't like kissing Alessia had been. There was no performance, no trying to be someone I wasn't. It just felt right. I'm terrified this is a terrible idea, I said when we broke apart. Me too, but I can't stop thinking about you. She smiled, really smiled, and kissed me again. We kept it quiet at first. Neither of us wanted to deal with the inevitable drama that would come when Alessia found out. Because she would find out. There was no avoiding it. But for 2 blissful months, it was just us. Learning each other, building something real. Bianca was everything Alessia wasn't. She communicated directly instead of playing games. She celebrated my successes instead of finding ways to diminish them. She made me feel like I was enough, exactly as I was. I fell hard. One night, lying in bed at her place, I said it. I love you. She froze for a second, then turned to look at me. You mean that? Completely. I love you too. I think I have for a while. Then let's stop hiding. I want to be with you, really be with you. I don't care what anyone thinks. She bit her lip. Alessia is going to lose her mind. Probably. But I'm done making decisions based on what she might think or feel. Are you? Bianca thought about it for a long moment, then nodded. Yeah, I am. We went public the next day. Nothing dramatic, just updated our relationship statuses on social media. Simple, straightforward, honest. My phone started blowing up within an hour. Most messages were supportive. Friends who'd watched me struggle through the last months of my relationship with Alessia, saying they were happy for me. Marco sent about 15 thumbs-up emojis. But there was one number I didn't recognize. And the message made my blood run cold. How could you do this to me? Then another. With my best friend? And another. You're disgusting. Both of you. I showed Bianca. She sighed. Here we go. Her phone was getting the same treatment. Dozens of messages from Alessia, escalating from hurt to angry to downright vicious. I knew you wanted him. You were just waiting for your chance like a vulture. You're both dead to me. I hope you're happy ruining my life. Bianca blocked her after the 15th message. I tried to talk to her for months about the way she treated you. She wouldn't listen. I'm done feeling guilty for being happy. The harassment continued for a week. Mutual friends caught in the middle, messages from Alessia's family asking what happened, even a few encounters at places we used to go where she'd show up and glare at us from across the room. Then, suddenly, silence. 2 months passed. Bianca and I got more serious. Started talking about the future, about moving in together. I met her parents. She met mine. Everything felt natural and right in a way I'd never experienced before. Then, 6 months after we'd gone public, my phone rang at 2 in the morning. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Hello. Sobbing. Incoherent, gasping sobbing. Who is this? It's me. Alessia's voice, broken and small. Please don't hang up. Every instinct told me to end the call. But I couldn't. What do you want? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I ruined everything. I ruined us. Alessia, it's 2 in the morning. I know. I know. I can't stop thinking about you. About us. I was so stupid. I was scared and I pushed you away and I thought I could just move on, but I can't. I need you. Bianca stirred next to me, woken by my voice. She looked at me questioningly. I mouthed Alessia and watched her face harden. You told me you'd forget me in a week, I said quietly. You said you'd already found someone better. I lied. There was never anyone else. I just wanted to hurt you so you'd leave, and I wouldn't have to face how terrified I was of losing you. I know it doesn't make sense. I know I'm insane. But please, can we just talk? Can I explain? No. Please. No, Alessia. You don't get to do this. You don't get to destroy me, and then come crawling back 6 months later when I finally put my life back together. But you're with Bianca. She spat the name like poison. My best friend. You didn't waste any time, did you? I met with Bianca because she wanted to explain your behavior. We became friends. Then more. That's how healthy relationships work, Alessia. No games, no manipulation, just 2 people who actually like each other. She's not right for you. She doesn't know you like I do. You're right. She doesn't know me like you do. She knows me better. Because I can actually be myself with her. Alessia's crying intensified. I made a mistake. The biggest mistake of my life. Don't I deserve a second chance? You had a second chance. And a third and a fourth. Every time I tried to talk to you about what was wrong, every time I asked if we were okay, you shut me down or made me feel crazy. You used up all your chances. But I love you. 3 words I desperately wanted to hear 6 months ago. Now they just made me tired. I'm sure you do. In your own way. But it's not enough. Love without respect, without trust, without basic kindness? That's not love. That's just possession. So that's it. You're choosing her over me. I looked at Bianca, who was sitting up now, watching me with concern and something else. Trust. Complete, absolute trust that I would handle this. I'm not choosing anyone over anyone. I'm choosing myself. I'm choosing to be with someone who makes me better, not smaller. Someone who lifts me up instead of tearing me down. And yeah, that someone is Bianca. I'll never forgive you for this. That's fine. You don't have to. But Alessia, you need to move on. Actually move on. Not just pretend while you wait for me to come back. Because I'm not coming back. Not ever. You'll regret this. No. The only thing I regret is not walking away sooner. I hung up before she could respond. Blocked the number. Turned to Bianca. You okay? She asked softly. Yeah, I actually am. She pulled me close, and I realized something. For the first time in over 2 years, I felt completely at peace. 3 months later, I proposed to Bianca. We were at the same beach in Positano where I'd proposed to Alessia, but this time it felt completely different. That proposal had been about grand gestures and perfect moments. This one was simple, honest. I know this might seem fast, I said, ring in hand. And I know this place has complicated history, but I wanted to replace that memory with a better one. With you. Bianca was crying, smiling, nodding all at once. Yes, absolutely yes. I slid the ring onto her finger. Not the same ring. I'd sold that 1 month ago and donated the money to a mental health charity. This was different. Better. A symbol of something real. We posted a photo later that evening. Just our hands, the ring, the sunset behind us. The caption was simple. She said yes. The comments flooded in. Congratulations, well wishes, genuine happiness from people who'd watched me claw my way back from rock bottom. And one comment that stood out. From Alessia's account, posted then quickly deleted. I only saw it because Marco screenshotted it and sent it to me. This should have been me. I showed Bianca. She shook her head. She still doesn't get it. Get what? That the problem was never you. It was her. And until she figures that out, she's going to keep sabotaging every good thing in her life. She was right. Alessia had spent so much time afraid of losing me that she'd created the exact situation she feared. And now she was watching me build a life with someone else, someone she'd pushed away in her self-destructive spiral. Part of me felt bad for her, but only a small part. The rest of me was too busy being happy. We got married 6 months later. Small ceremony, close friends and family only. Marco was my best man. Bianca's sister was her maid of honor. It was perfect. Alessia tried to show up. We'd heard through mutual friends that she'd been asking about the date, the location. We hired security just in case. Sure enough, she appeared at the venue an hour before the ceremony. Security turned her away quietly. She didn't make a scene, didn't scream or cry, just left. And somehow, that was sadder than if she'd fought. On our wedding night, lying next to my wife. I thought about that moment in my living room 7 months ago. The ring on the floor. The sneering, I'll forget you in a week. She'd been right about one thing. I had moved on. Just not in the way she'd expected. What are you thinking about? Bianca asked, tracing patterns on my chest. How lucky I am. How different my life could have been if I tried to win her back. Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you had? No, because I know exactly what would have happened. She would have taken me back, held it over my head, and the cycle would have continued until one of us finally broke for good. I would have lost myself completely. And now I'm married to my best friend. The woman who sees me, actually sees me, and loves what she sees. How did I get this lucky? She kissed me softly. We both got lucky. 3 months into our marriage, I ran into Alessia at a coffee shop. Pure chance, wrong place, wrong time. Or maybe right place, right time, depending on how you looked at it. She looked different. Tired. There was something hollow in her eyes that hadn't been there before. Congratulations, she said stiffly. On the wedding. Thank you. Awkward silence. She stirred her coffee obsessively, not meeting my eyes. I'm in therapy now, she said suddenly. Working through everything. My therapist says I have attachment issues. Fear of abandonment manifesting as preemptive rejection. Textbook self-sabotage. That's good. That you're getting help. I'm sorry. For all of it. You deserved better. Yeah, I did. She flinched, but nodded. Bianca's good for you. I can see that now, even if it kills me to admit it. Alessia. No, let me finish. I spent months being angry at both of you. Feeling betrayed. But the truth is, I betrayed myself. I had something real and I destroyed it because I was too broken to believe I deserved it. That's on me, not you. It was the most self-aware I'd ever heard her be. I hope you find what you're looking for, I said honestly. I hope therapy helps. I hope you figure out how to be happy. Are you happy? Really happy? I thought about Bianca. About waking up next to her every morning without that knot of anxiety in my stomach. About conversations where I didn't have to calculate every word. About feeling safe and loved and valued. Yeah, I really am. She smiled, sad and genuine. Good. You deserve that. We said goodbye, and I meant it this time. Not the angry, bitter goodbye of our breakup, but a real one. A closing of a chapter. I went home to Bianca and told her about the encounter. She listened without interruption, then said, "How do you feel?" "Grateful. For all of it, even the bad parts. Because they led me here. To you." She smiled. Cheesy, but true. But true, she agreed and kissed me. Sometimes I think about that version of my life where I took Alessia back after Bianca told me the truth. Where I believed that love meant suffering through someone's worst behaviors because they were hurting too. Where I accepted breadcrumbs and called it a feast. I dodged a bullet. More than that, I dodged a lifetime of walking on eggshells, of never being enough, of slowly losing myself trying to fill a void that was never mine to fill. Instead, I'm here, with someone who chose me every day, not because she was afraid to be alone, but because being with me made her life better. And I made the same choice every single day. Alessia said she'd forget me in a week and found someone better. She was half right. Someone did find someone better. I did.